Matt Griffith, the head football coach of the Sylacauga Aggies, joins us. A big win over cross-county rival Talladega last week. It was homecoming for the Aggies. It was a good night, even though it got off to a slow start.
Yeah, it did. We knew Talladega was very talented. We knew they had some skilled guys, and they pulled out all the stops offensively. I mean, they ran a halfback pass to start the game and scored quick, and then stopped us, and we punted to them, and immediately threw a double reverse pass trying to hit us again. But they ended up throwing an interception, and Steven Strickland took it about 55, 60 yards, and that really kind of woke our kids up. We needed that momentum swing, and then we got in a rhythm, and I really think we did well as the game went on.
Talk about the running game. Of course, you got to have those big guys up front blocking, but right. Man, the combination of that and Thomason, that's a pretty good combination.
Well, and the thing is, we're not used to basically giving it to a back 27 to 30 times a game. That's not the game plan. But with a young quarterback, it takes pressure off him, and when you can get 4 and 5 yards, and then you're trying to set up some other things, but it doesn't put the pressure on a sophomore quarterback to carry the team. And so we're probably running it a little bit more than we do. We're probably throwing maybe 12 times a game. So when we had Hunter as a junior and senior, we were throwing 17, 18 times a game. So it's a little different, but as he gets used to it, we'll open up the game as it goes. And I think we really tried to open it up a little bit more and give him some comfortable passes to throw. What you don't want to do is throw a bunch of high-risk passes.
Well, once the running game got going, it was Katie barred the door. Sylacauga got to play a lot of players in the game.
Yeah, that's always good. I mean, we got our entire sophomore and freshman in there the entire fourth quarter. Got to play the freshman quarterback, Keaton Wilson, for an entire quarter, which is always good. And, you can play all the B-team games and the ninth grade games you want, but there's nothing like Friday night experience.
It's a lot quicker, isn't it?
It's a lot quicker. The intensity level of the coaches to get those kids used to that intensity level in a game is always good for them, too.
Well, the big region game tonight with lots of playoff implications against the Shelby County Wildcats. You're coming off a big homecoming win. You go into Shelby County, a team that's been down a little bit, but these are always dangerous games.
Well, we thought last week was even a dangerous game. I mean, we came off that huge win against Childersburg, and I think Childersburg was kind of favored having so many kids back from last year. It was a big win for us. We were worried going into homecoming with all the distractions. Now we're going into Shelby County, and what worries us more than anything is they've gone back to their old style of offense that they ran when they were successful at that school. They're foot to foot. They're going to try to keep the ball away from you. They're 3.5 yards in a cloud of dust, and if it's 4th and 2, they're going to go for it. They're going to really try to keep the ball away from your offense. So their record's not very good, but they're improving every week. And, they pose some concerns for us tonight.
Well, for Sylacauga, the Aggies have an opportunity to secure a playoff spot, and with some good things happening, you can kind of move up the board a little bit.
Exactly. I mean, we've looked at it across the board. We really think that tonight, with a win tonight, it'd be almost impossible not to be one of the 1 through 4 to make the playoffs. So this really seals a playoff for us. And then, if you get the win tonight, then you can start thinking about jockeying for position of who's 1, who's 2, and who's 3, and who's 4. Which all comes down to, do you travel, do you host? Do you have a shot to win a region championship, and all those different things. But this one tonight, you got to take care of business first before you even think that.
In a game like this, how do you keep trying to grow basically a young football team that coming off a couple of wins in a row, and you go into Shelby County as a favorite, and how do you keep those kids focused at the task ahead? Still a lot of season remaining.
There's a lot of season ahead. That's a great question, and we talk about it a ton in practice, but when they're not focused, you have to go back to the fundamentals of what brought you there. You stay, when things are going wrong, we stop everything in practice, and we run the 3 to 4 plays that you absolutely believe in, and it's the core of your offense. And you do the same thing defensively. We're not getting the checks, and we can't check to their formations. We stop everything, get in base. And our kids know when that happens, it's time to focus up. You know, practice is not going the way we want it to. So it's a continuous thing with kids, you know, and I say, you know, this generation is the most heavily medicated generation I've ever seen in my life. You know, you got to coach a different way sometimes to maintain their attention.
Yeah. This is your 10th year.
10th year.
At Sylacauga High School, at the helm of the Aggies, and a young, basically young football team, and you're a disciplined kind of coach. And I know that penalties are something that really concern you every year.
Sure.
But penalties can play such a critical role in a tight football game.
They can. You know, where we get disappointed too, we have different snap counts when we're trying to draw you offside. We have different shifts, and especially when we're walking our tight end to try to get you in an unbalanced situation. And when we jump there, you know, that'll really get you fire going real quick when you're jumping off or doing penalties in a critical game. And it's the same thing when you rough the passer or you rough the punter, you're getting stupid penalties in a big game that'll cost you. And you'll see us really jumping on our kids about that. We've done pretty well. We probably had a little bit more penalties earlier in the year, but young football teams do that, especially offensively. When you're young, you're a tad undisciplined sometimes because a kid gets confused and he does the wrong thing. As he gets older, you know, he does a lot better. I think we've grown offensively as the years gone on. I think we're getting better and better offensively as our kids mature and grow up. And you know, we have not even tapped into the potential of how good we can be with this group of kids. I know we're 5-1. We hope to be 6-1 after tonight. And but this group of kids in the next year or so can really mature and be something special.
All right. Coach Matt Griffith, the head football coach of the Sylacauga Aggies, our guest. Sylacauga travels to Shelby County, hoping to secure a playoff berth in Class 5A. Coach, we'll do it again next week.
All right, thanks for having me.
All right, more on Daybreak, our daily devotion with Mark Ledbetter after this.